Hey everybody, Steve here at Fairhaven Memorial Park in Santa Ana, California. And this is a cemetery that I visited a couple of times before, but on those visits I wasn't aware that the person I'm visiting today was laid to rest here. This memorial park is located in Orange County, where the 22 and the 55 freeways intersect. My visit today is an extra sad one. I'm here to visit the final resting place of Debbi Stone, an 18-year-old high school graduate who was tragically killed in a freak accident at Disneyland back in 1974. She sadly died on July 8, 1974, at the young age of 18. After graduating from Santa Ana High School, she took a summer job at Disneyland and was crushed to death in a freak accident on the stage of America Sings. Apparently she was crushed when she was caught between the rotating wall of the stage and the fixed wall behind the stage. I just vaguely remember the attraction, and I'm not sure I ever saw it. Do any of you remember seeing the show? The online Disney wiki page says that it was an audio animatronic show representing the history of American music. It opened June 29, 1974 in the Carousel Theater, which was formerly the Carousel of Progress in Disneyland's Tomorrowland. The attraction closed on April 10, 1988. Her shocking and tragic death led to major safety changes at the Disneyland theme parks, which very likely have prevented further accidents and deaths at the parks. So something good did come from her untimely death, but I'm sure that was little consolation, if any, to her family and loved ones. She's laid to rest just inside the front gates to the left, in the small section right in front of the mausoleum, and her gravesite is located right under a very big, beautiful tree. There are quite a number of articles online about Debbi and her heartbreaking death, and in one of the articles, her parents talked about how they've dealt over the years with what happened at Disneyland that day. Their religious beliefs have helped them cope with the loss, and so is the knowledge that she's still being remembered today. In one moving article on the website Mouse Planet, her parents share the people from around the world who have heard about her accident have written the family to let them know that her death had inspired them in their own lives. They say that it's been comforting to know that she's touched so many lives over the years and continues to today. I'm panning around her gravesite right now so you can see what a beautiful location she's in under this beautiful shade tree just across the street from the outdoor mausoleum. This is the Lawn A section, and you may recognize it if you saw my video a couple of years ago when I visited the gravesite of Nazi concentration camp survivor and author Corrie ten Boom. She's famous for her 1971 best-selling book, The Hiding Place, which also became a popular movie, and she's laid to rest just a few rows away from Debbi's gravesite. So Debbi is definitely in good company here. And in case you're wondering, this cemetery is located just 6.5 miles away from Disneyland. She was born in the nearby city of Orange, she died in Anaheim, and she's buried here in Santa Ana, and all of these cities are pretty much within walking distance of each other. She hadn't yet ventured out into the world, but it's kind of moving to know that after her death, she's had an impact on people all over the world. Someone else had already included a GPS on her Find a Grave Memorial page, which made her gravesite very easy to find, so thank you to whoever took the time to do that. My second visit to this cemetery was to visit the gravesite of Corrie ten Boom, but my first visit to this cemetery was a couple of years ago to visit the final resting place of Pamela Susan Corson. Her cremated remains are interred in the outdoor mausoleum, located just a few yards away from Debbi Stone's gravesite. Corson was the longtime girlfriend of rock singer Jim Morrison of The Doors, and she was with him in their apartment in Paris when he died in 1971. She died less than 3 years later in Hollywood, California on April 25, 1974, from a drug overdose at the young age of 27. Jim Morrison had also died at the age of 27. And Debbi died just a couple of months after Susan died. All three women, in very different ways, certainly left lasting memories behind. Here we are, all these years later, still remembering them and sharing their life stories. This area here is called the Garden Courts, and just down the hallway in the Rose Alcove is Pamela's cremation niche. Her family wanted to have her cremated remains buried in Paris with Jim Morrison, but for whatever reason that wasn't meant to be, and she's laid to rest here instead. It's not completely clear if they were ever actually married, but on her niche plaque here, She is listed with the last name Morrison. Accidental deaths like this are just so heartbreaking, especially when someone is so young, just 18 years old, just graduated from high school, taking a summer job to save up money to go to college. Life is definitely unfair and mysterious at times, isn't it? Tragic deaths like this are just so hard to understand. But at least she's remembered, and I wanted to come and visit her gravesite and share with all of you in case you weren't aware of her and hadn't heard her story. I wasn't aware of her story until just, I believe it was last year when I heard about her, and I finally got down here to Orange County to visit her gravesite. So until next time, thanks for sharing the memories, everyone. Even when they're especially sad memories like they are today.